Hey, I'm back, guys, I think. Can you hear me? You guys can all hear me now? Okay, awesome. I don't know what happened. It was weird. It was the streaming service, like, just quit working or something. I have no clue. Very weird. But we're back now. So we wanted to start with the RA3. So I will do that. And I think I was in the middle of answering somebody's question about the wire for it. I would contact xTool support and see if you can get that wire. Okay, so I'm going to switch over to make sure you guys can still hear me. Can you hear me when I switch over to my screen? All right, awesome. So I can't see the chat right now while I'm on the screen, but I'm going to go over this again in case you guys could not hear me. So this is like a cup rotation, these 5 cups right here. This right here, this middle one would be like where your tabs are up. This is a quarter rotation, and this right here is a half rotation, so your tab's down, and then it circles back around again, and so it meets all the way back to the tabs being back up, if that makes any sense. So it's all like kind of quarter rotations all the way around. So what I'm going to be doing is I'm just going to be doing a simple name on a mess up cup that I have, but I also want to go over some other things with this. So if you were doing, say, a company's logo and then they wanted a name put on it, you can create your box, or you can buy a template for it. I don't typically do these, so I don't have one readily available to me. But you would start with, like, say, your name or the person's name up here, and then the logo right here, and that'll make it so they're front and back perfectly. Actually, you know what? I might have something. So I do kind of have something here. So if you wanted to do the logo and the person's name, you would start with like a box like this, and you would put of course I can't get it to work right. You would put the name right here in the middle and the logo over here, and you would start your whole tumbler right here. But you want to make sure it's in the center of each box that you're making, if that makes any sense. All right, awesome. I'm glad that all makes sense for you guys. I just wanted to switch over and see if I could see any comments. So I am going to set up the, I'm going to switch over to my other camera and set up the tumbler. I don't know why it's not switching over. Hold on. Why is it not switching over? Okay, Restream wants to give all kinds of problems today. I'm trying to get my other camera to go so you guys can see the RA3 setup, but it doesn't want to let me do it. Okay, well, improvise. I will move my whole laptop so we can do this. I've never had to do it this way, so I'm sorry, guys, but Restream isn't working right tonight. I know the other kid the other night was having the same issue, so I think it's a problem with Restream. So you guys should be able to see that now. So your RE3, how I do my tumblers, actually, let me start with that. I use it like this. I don't actually use the whole teeth. I just use the little magnets and I put it in the top one here. I try to start with one of these up top so I can line it up with the tabs of my tumbler. And then you just want to make sure it's all flush with each one of these. You can kind of tell when you spin it if it is, because it will be a little wobbly otherwise. Your RA3 gets pushed back against these tabs here. And then there's a space over here to plug in the cord. And that's pretty much it. So what I also do like to do before I run my actual tumbler, especially a full wrap. Actually, that tape is too small. And I know in my prior video where I went over doing this, it didn't record the tape test. So I just want to show you guys what my tape test is. In which I actually did do it on this one, but it was when the software was kind of glitching in auto mode and it went right through my tape. That's why I have a huge line right here. But a tape test is just that. You put your tape down. And I usually will run just like I'll create a shape, although going up, not even thick, maybe 3 millimeters thick, the whole width of the tumbler. And I just run it and I make sure I get that line going all the way up and down. And that's how I know I'll be in focus. If you're running a full wrap, you do want your tumbler to be level. Right now, I know this is level because I have it on already tilted up. So I'm going to undo that. You can get one of these and do it. You can use one of these little ones that I think xTool actually sent one. And then I like to use a digital one, and I just turn it on. I'll reset it on top. But a lot of people are using these, so I figured I'd get one and go over it with you. So when it's like this, the bubble is actually way up here. So you want that bubble to be in the middle. So I'm going to tilt the tumbler all the way up until it's in the middle. And then I'm going to turn the knob on the RA3 until it stays. I kind of go a little bit past because once it settles down, it's going to fall a little bit. So I go a little bit past it. And now it's flat in the middle. I don't know if you guys can see that, but the bubble is in the middle. Another way you can do it if you don't have one of these and you only have what xTool gave you is you put it right down here on the bottom of the tumbler. A lot of people actually think you put it up here, but you don't, because you want the top and the bottom to be level. So you put it down here and it's now in the middle. And if anybody's wondering, it is on a 4-degree angle as far as the RA3 is concerned. Now, if you're going to use a digital one, I do put that right there. And that is technically a 3-degree angle. And that's actually my favorite method to use is this digital one because I know it's a 3-degree angle. So that's my preferred method. And then after I get that done is when I would do my tape test, but I'm not doing a full wrap, so I don't really have to do that. So let's go back over here. I'm sorry for improvising, guys, but I don't know what's going on with Restream the past few lives. It's been a hot mess. I got it off of Etsy. I'm sorry, I can't see the chat when I was doing that, but I got it off of Etsy. It's just tumbler level. It's adjustable. You can move these for whatever size tumbler you have. I don't have a jig in there. The level, is that what you're calling a jig? It's just called a tumbler leveler. So I am going to switch back over here. I am going to turn this. I'm going to get rid of that because I don't need it. I never do my tumblers in auto mode. It's never worked well for me. I mean, I can get it to work, but it usually doesn't work out well. So I typically don't do it. You can really start this wherever you want. But like I said, if you're doing a full wrap, I always start in the middle one right here. So that way it's in the tabs, especially if there's any kind of error, it will be hidden with the tab or the handle of the cup. I'm just going to start up here, which I can't see it because this thing keeps popping up. And for your settings, your parameter is going to be the diameter of the cup, which is 280 on a typical Stanley type cup. That means it's the circumference of it is 280 millimeters around. I will get I'm going to take a picture actually, so I know what I'm doing. And so now we can actually see the tumbler. I'm going to move this here. And for actually we can measure too. This is kind of where it gets weird. And would you guys, I'm going to switch over and ask you guys what you would rather see. Would you guys rather see me show you what the laser is doing when it's measuring, or do you want to see the directions on the screen? No, the 280 is the how round the cup is. So let me switch back over to me. So if I were to take this tumbler off. And you measure going around the whole tumbler. So you would take a tape measure going around the whole tumbler. That's what you would get is 280. So you guys, I got one for the laser and one for the screen. So let me know. All right, we're going to do the screen. So I'm going to hit move, and it's going to move my nozzle or my whole laser module. And I am going to take off the nozzle because you take the nozzle off when engraving. And I'm going to move it to just about where it starts to go down on the tumbler. So just underneath that last tab. I'm sorry, I couldn't think of the word. And you can adjust how far or how fast the laser moves, and that's what I'm doing here, just so I can get it. So I will switch over just so you can see what I'm talking about. So I have that dot. I'm trying to see what you guys can see too at the same time. So I have that dot right here, right before it starts to go down. And that's where I'm going to do my aimed measure at. So I will switch back over. And I'm going to click measure. I am not actually going to do a tape test on this, but if I were to, I'll show you what I mean by when I just take a shape. I would do this. I would set it to engrave, and then I would just let the machine run up and down. And as long as I have a solid line, I can just cancel it and move on with my design. So now that we can see the actual tumbler, exactly how it should be. I'm going to set that up about right there. You can zoom in. You want it to be just touching that line right there, and it'll snap into place. So you just do that. And then for settings, for white tumblers or light tumblers, light pink, these cream ones, white ones, I do tend to go a little bit more power. So I'll go 80 power, and I go a little bit slower. So I'll go 750 speed. And for a tumbler, you shouldn't need more than 120 lines per centimeter. Otherwise, you're going to, and you could end up burning the machine. You're going to lose some details, especially if it has a lot of details in the graphic. You're going to end up losing some of those details from all the lines that it's doing. I know it seems counterproductive, but that's always been the case from what I've been seeing. You can now frame it as well. So if you wanted to frame it, you could turn up the speed on it, and then you just hit frame, and it's going to send it to the P3 and frame. I don't know if you guys need to see that, but I mean, everybody's seen something framed before, I would think. So I'm going to stop that, and I will close the lid and we will process this. So also worth noting, I do not have the normal air assist. I have my own setup. I didn't take it off to do this show. I just didn't have time. I've been going through a lot of stuff. So I didn't have time to do that. So you will not actually hear it. I'm just going to engrave it without. And I know a lot of you were wondering about my air assist. So if you guys want to see that, let me know as well. And remember, I think I lost that. Let me try to bring it up here if I can, if it'll let me do it live. And it will not let me do it. Probably because I am live. Let me see if I can get the graphic to you guys through the chat. Probably not. Yeah, I can't share the graphic live. All right. Well, there's a QR code. I will post it on the screen. Actually, using my phone, I can do that for you guys. Like I said in my thing, I'm not feeling well today, so I'm a little kind of out of it. So if you guys scan that, there's giving away $300 gift cards. You just fill out, I think you just put your email address in and they pick them from the live. That's called the Lobster font. It's an xTool font. And then also if you buy anything during the live, if you use code Beth100 on anything $9.99 to $1,000, $1,100, I can't even see what it says, $100 to $9.99, you can get $100 off. Beth 300, 3,000 and up. I think that's what it's saying. It's so small I can't see it, to be honest with you. And the Canadian is Beth 130, and you get 130 off. I'm thinking it's $13.99. And Beth 450, and you get 450 off of $5,399. I think that's what it's saying. So let's run this now. I'm going to switch over to the full screen for you. So see how it went to that side of the cup? So that's because I started it on that middle one. I have absolutely no air being blown out of my P3 right now, so there is going to be a little bit of flame. But honestly, I'm not worried with a fire with a tumbler. I mean, realistically, I should have put my name kind of in the middle of it, but or I should have used the diagram I had and set it up. But I just wanted to show you guys how to do this real quick. So I am actually, I'm going to stop it and I'm going to show you that it will also be fine on the bottom. So I'm going to cancel this, confirm. I'm going to click finish. And now say we want it on the bottom, and I'm going to go a little bit smaller because it is the bottom. On. And really, I should have started my name kind of in the middle of it like this. That way it would have been how it should be. I don't know. I'm kind of afraid to close the laptop any more than what it is. And I'm just going to stop that there for now as well. I'm going to cancel it on here. And then you would just clean it with LA Awesome and a Mr. Clean Eraser, which I was looking for in here that I can't seem to find right now. So I'm going to see if I can do it with just a regular cloth. So LA Awesome is just this stuff here. You get it at like the Dollar Tree, or I think it's $1.25 now. Tree and up. And a Mr. Clean Eraser would actually work a lot better. I do typically let it sit on there for a few minutes. In my sink, I'll go up there with hot water and rinse it off. I'm just working on one area of it just so you can see it. I'm not even sure if you'll be able to see how shiny it is. I don't know if you can see the reflection or not. But that's all you do. You would use LA Awesome, a Mr. Clean Eraser, or like a shop towel you can use too. But the Mr. Clean Eraser and the LA Awesome do work the best for that. So yeah, are there different settings for different colors on the tumblers, or is it just stainless steel settings? So no, for the lighter colors, I was doing I did 85 power, 750 speed, and 120 lines. For like if I'm doing black or something, I'll do 75 and 800 speed. It's all right, Roy. I forgive you. So yeah, it does get really shiny. It's like a mirror finish. And if, like I said, if I had the Mr. Clean Eraser, it would be even better and probably a lot faster. I didn't even do the bottom for you guys. But I really need the Mr. Clean Eraser because that I only have one paper towel down here too right now, and it's disgustingly dirty. So I'm just spreading dirt. But that's how you would do the tumblers. You just make sure it's level. Like I said, this seems to be what a lot of people are using. I personally like the digital one. So you just place it on top of the tumbler like this, and then you would raise that bottom up on your RA3 until that bubble is in the middle. I actually do go past it. I make it go to the very end. Oh, you guys ain't even seen it. I make it go to the very end down here. That way when I tighten the knob on the RA3, it ends up going right in the middle. You have to kind of go a little past it. It's kind of the only flaw that I have found in the RA3. You can also use just the little one that came with the RA3, and you just put it right here on the bottom in the middle, and you just raise it up till it's level. Or I always use the digital one myself, and the digital one would go right here on it until it's a 3-degree angle this way. But it's typically always about a 3-degree angle. And if you do that tape test with the line, you'll know for sure if you're in focus all the way through or not. That's awesome, Michelle. You should definitely get one. They are a lot of fun. I mean, I'm not going to lie. I haven't been using the CO2 as much as I always have. I've been using the fiber, the F2 actually IR, and the UV laser a lot lately. But it is one of my best machines. It's really what I make most of my money on because I sell a lot of wood signs and stuff. But I haven't been really using it. I've been sick, so I have a lot going on. As you can hear in my voice, it's starting to go already. But let's do the IR module now. I know a lot of you guys were having problems with the setup of it. So mine is already kind of attached to it. So I didn't take the whole thing apart because this one part is kind of a pain. So I'm going to bring you over to it. I am going to turn the machine off just so I can move the gantry here. And I'm going to set you down. So this is the hardest part to put on, is this piece right here. And I'm going to turn my iPad so I can make sure you guys can see what I'm talking about. And there's a huge delay I can see. Okay, yeah, you guys can see. So getting these 2 screws in here was the hardest part for me. It was just lining them up, but this always stays in after, so you don't take it out. It just stays in. And then I'm going to move it back just a little bit. And then what you would do is this has clips on it right here, and you clip this on to the rails and it just clips on. And I'm trying to work over my laptop, so bear with me. I'm going to move this all the way back. All right, I can't work over my laptop, guys. Sorry. Apparently, I can't work alongside of it either. All right, there we go. And you got to make sure that the wheels are in this area right here, so just above the belt, and it clips right on there. Then this screw right here is going to, I don't want my hearing, you guys to see, is going to screw into this little hole right here, like that. And I stick my finger behind it to see it. It is kind of a pain, I'm not going to lie, to line it up. And then You have to go tight with it. And then I don't know if you can see that now. And then over here, there is the plug for it, and you just plug it in like that, and it's ready to go. The only issue I have found with doing the IR, well, there's actually a couple issues I found with it. I have to remove the RA3 too. So the only things that I have found is you need to have a piece of wood down in the machine when you're working with metal. So I keep mine down here. I have my blank. If I don't have this wood, it's going to take the picture, but it's going to be like wicked dark and you won't be able to see what you're doing. So you have to have something bright down there. I've been considering painting my tray white to see if that will help, or laying paper down in there to see if it'll help, but I haven't gotten there yet. So you can hear the RA3. Oh my God, I'm so sorry. The 5-watt has a fan in it, so that just kicked on. I'm going to come back over here and set up a project. And I'm going to switch you guys over. I have to reconnect. So I'm going to switch over to the 5-watt, and I'm going to turn this around because I'm just going to do my name again for you guys. I'm going to set that to engrave. So this is where I'm going to show you. I'm going to show you with the wood and without it. So as you can see it fine. You'll be able to line it up and place it and everything in between. You do lose some work area, as you can see. It's not, you end up losing some because how it's connected to the CO2 module. So you do lose a little bit of work area, but usually if you're using this, you're not doing something huge. So that's what it looks like with the wood. Now, without touching my blank, because I did clean it with alcohol prior. This is what I mean by it's too dark. You can't really see what you're doing. So that's my little tip, is to put a piece of wood in there and you should be fine to see it. So I'm just going to zoom in a little bit and kind of line it up about where I want it. It doesn't have to be perfect for this. So I'm just going to switch back over here. Sorry, I was taking a drink too. And I did do a lot of testing with this when I first got it months ago. So a few things that I've learned. I was doing a test grid for a picture to see what I could get for pictures. And I've noticed if you do go fast with it, that screw that holds it to the CO2, it does tend to come loose. This is the P3, and I am showing the IR module. Jennifer was asking what machine this is. So if, like I said, if you go fast, it ends up loosening up, and you can actually see the screw like spinning a little bit at a time. So it's really not meant to do something like fast. It's meant to pretty much go slow. So the other day I did a test grid to see if my settings that I have for the F2 actually kind of match this, and they actually do. I was really kind of surprised, but they're both 5 watt. So what I ended up going with was 100% power and 5% speed, and I get a black, and it's black from every angle. And it's actually on that shiny metal. It's smooth. On this, it's brushed, and you can feel a little bit of texture. But on that keychain in there, it's actually smooth. And I did one right here. I was playing around with it, as you can see. This was the one I did the other day with it. And it's more like it's in a nail than anything. So I'm a fan of a nailing, so I like that. So let's switch back over there and get this set up for you guys. So as you can see, it saved our settings from before. We don't want those. We're going to switch it to 100 power. We're going to go 5 speed. I'm going to do the 120 lines still. I believe that's what I did. And now you hit frame. No, we have to get our distance. And then I'll hit frame after. So it's basically, it's just rising it up. The beam hit the piece and it gave us 42.9. You do want to frame, and I am going to show you what the framing process will do. I'm going to take you back over here. I didn't want you guys to get dizzy, so I tried to move it without you. Actually, let's put the full screen on. So actually, I don't think I hit frame yet. Sorry. Okay, so I have frame on there, and I'm going to hit frame here. And it's completely off. So I'm going to move that down. And that cross here is what is actually framing. So I want to show you guys that again in case you missed it. In the middle of these crosshairs is where the actual design is going to be. I'm going to move that down just a smidge. And I'm fine with that for this video, actually. So we're going to go back over here for now. And here are the codes again. It's Beth 100 for $100 off of $9.99. Beth 300 for off of anything $3.99.9 and up. And for our Canada friends, it's Beth 130 for if you purchase $13.99 and up. And Beth 450 for $53.99 and up. Okay, so let's go back over here. Framing is complete. And it's sending my bed down, and now I am going to hit process. Again, I don't have the nozzle on. Not that it matters really. And I have my air off. And it's always going to give you this warning because I have a very low speed and a higher power. I'm okay with that. And we will switch over again, and you guys can watch it be done. So as you can see, it's extremely slow, but the end result is really cool. you will notice around what you're engraving. So like my name, there's going to be, it almost looks like dirt or whatever, but that's just oxidation and that wipes right off. It's just a natural occurrence that happens with when heat hits the metal. But you just use alcohol, it comes right off. So that is going to take a while to do. I don't think you guys want to sit there and watch that. So I will answer some questions. I'm going to go back and see if there was any first. Can you do a batch with what, the IR system? Let me know what you mean by that. I know Michael from Monkey's Woodworking set up his RA3 to do like 3 tumblers at a time. So, I mean, you could do a bunch of these tags all at once. It is going to take a long time. I'm not going to lie. But if this is all you have for a machine and you don't have the money for one of these machines back here, any of them, then, I mean, you could definitely do it. It's just going to take a while. Michael, how many cups did you do on your RA3 with the, I think you did it with the rollers and you did some kind of rig for it. You're very welcome, Christopher. I thought you did 3. Do you have a video for that on your channel yet? Michael is awesome. He's also one of my admins in my group too, and he shares a lot of useful stuff. So definitely give him a follow as well. Nice. If a CO2 laser is in the garage without heat, will the coolant freeze and bust the tube? If it's cold enough, absolutely. Like mine was inside this winter and we had a horrible winter here. And I took down all my hoses, like, so it wasn't connected to the outside air at all, because I mean, we were like negative 20 degrees here for a while with wind chills. And I put a blanket over it and I have heat, but I'm down in my basement. But what I was worried about is losing power, which I actually did lose power for a week. And it got down in here, I want to say like 38 degrees. So, I mean, I was worried, but yes, you definitely want to have the coolant in there. And what I like to do, so let me find my bottle here. I have an extra one. So if it tells you to put like, all right, this is 1,000. So let's just say it tells you to put, you know, 300 milliliters or whatever this is. I'll go the extra mile and I'll put an extra 100 in or an extra 200 just so I can be safe, because you never know what can happen. Like where I live, we typically do not have a winter like we had this year. I mean, we got 48 inches of snow and we're lucky if we get like 12 inches for the whole year. And it got really, really cold this year. You add coolant to the laser so it does protect it. Yes. Exactly. Just exactly like Michael said. You want that in there. I mean, they supply it to you, so you might as well use it. And even if, say, your area only gets to like, say, 35 degrees, still go the extra mile and put extra in, because you never know what can happen. I'd rather be safe than sorry. I'd rather put extra in and know my tube isn't going to crack. But I think even Michael was worried this winter, because I know he had it rough too. And didn't you put like heat lamps? I think that was you. I mean, I had a heated blanket on mine and I did everything I could. Can you use the RA2 with the P3? That I'm not completely sure about. I don't know because it's a different wire. I do have one, so let me get it. So it is a completely different wire for the RA2 for like this was for the P2. So it's a different wire. It's a it's not even a USB-C. I don't know what it is. It's like the old cell phone wire from like back in the day. So you would need that. So if I would contact xTool, or if you don't have one already, I do know they sell like the P3 kit for it. I'm surprised I remember that anyways, that you did that. So that is actually still going. It's almost done actually. It's at the very bottom. Let me show you guys. I don't want to make you dizzy, so I'm going to try to go slow. So it's almost done. It's like the very, very bottom. It has to do the bottom of my letters. Also, with doing metals, if you guys aren't aware of this, your ambient temperature in the room and the temperature of the metals have a lot to do with how it's going to react as well. Mini USB, yeah. But you have to get the xTool wires for sure, because it's just like Michael said, it's all proprietary xTool stuff. Although I have heard of other people somehow getting other rotaries to work. My settings for the 5-watt were 100 power, 5 speed, and 120 lines per centimeter. So if you're going to be doing a lot of metal work, like, are you talking about like deep engravings into them? If it's going to be deep engravings, that would be this machine right here, the F2 Ultra. The F1 Ultra is one of my top favorites for the line, but you're not going to get as deep as you would with the MOPA. The S1 is a diode. It would be able to do some metals, yes, because you have the diode part to it. It will do tumblers as well. You just have to be careful when using a diode with it, because, like I said, it does metal. That's what it's designed to do. So if your settings aren't spot on, you're going to change that color of the tumbler underneath. For cutting metal, you would need the F2 Ultra. And you can't cut like super thick metal. It would still have to be kind of smaller. No, the F2 5-watt, no, it won't cut any metal. You can engrave on metal or mark it, really, and it's going to be like a rough marking, which I have some stuff. So this was done on the F2 right here. I did the initials of 3 of my dogs, and it has a slight texture to it. It's pretty smooth, but I mean, there's still like a slight texture to it. The metal fab would be perfect for cutting all kinds of materials. You can cut thick stainless steel and everything with a 2 IR module, I think. No, with a 2 IR, no, absolutely not. You're not going to cut any metal with that. So this is done. It's probably going to be hot. Actually, it's not that hot. So that's what it looks like before I clean it. And just wipe it on my pants is good enough for me. And now it's all, in every angle, it's going to be black from. Yes, I believe you can buy just the metal fab cutting machine and not the welder. I do have the F2 UV Ultra. It's creeping up to being one of my favorites. And the F1 Ultra is my favorite. They're like, it's like this. What are you looking to do more of? Sorry, I wanted to turn the P3 off so it's not humming. That's a good question, huh? So I know you said you were wanting the P3. The P3, if you don't have anything at all, and this is going to be your first thing, I honestly would go with the P3, because with the P3 you can do more of a lot of stuff. So you can do any color acrylics in it. You can do wood. If you get the IR, you can do metals in it as well now. The only thing you can't do is basically inner engravings. So you can do everything on the P3 now that you, even if I would prefer the F2 over that IR module, only because it's a little bit faster. But you can do everything in the P3. The only thing you wouldn't be able to do is the inner engravings. That's really sure. I really do like the fact of being able to engrave inside. So if you want to be able to do that, then you would need the UV. And I do have some examples of stuff. I should actually go grab my husband's that I made him, but I don't feel like going upstairs. So I'm still kind of dialing in settings for it. The one I made for my husband, it was a picture of him and his parents. I actually have it on one of my shorts on YouTube, TikTok. It's on all the channels, but it's really cool. But I made this one. I was just fooling around with stuff, and it goes all the way to the other side. So I made that one. I mean, I've made others too. I just don't have them here because they were given to people. This is the test one that they have. So that's when you first set up the machine. It gives you this one to run. What do you have for the extensions pass through? For the P3, I have the conveyor system, which this conveyor system is awesome. It's a huge upgrade from the P2. So the P2, you had to always like take it in and out, and it was kind of finicky, and you had to screw it in and out, and the screws would actually like lose the they would get stripped on the top. With this one, you just kind of set it up and you forget about it. It goes into the back pretty much of the machine. I don't feel like pulling apart the whole machine to do it and carry the laptop, but I will, because I love y'all that much. So, but I'm not going to unscrew everything. So basically you would unscrew this right here. I think on you guys's now, the ones that are sold, I believe this is magnetic. So you wouldn't have to. I believe it is. I'm not 100%. Obviously, I don't have one. And it goes right in there. And then you put in the front here, there's this rod right here. You put that in there, and that's what kind of spins it. And this is magnetic for everyone. And this is the actual conveyor. Not that you could see it. This is the actual conveyor right here, and it sits in there. So your wood would just go through. I don't think I screwed this in. So you would put your wood in right here, and it goes all the way through, and then it gets fed through the wheels. So they make it super easy to use now. That was a huge upgrade, and I love that it's able to be left in. It's going to pair awesome with the upcoming UV printer because you're going to be able to print and cut. So you can print something on it. Like say you're printing something on acrylic or wood or whatever the case may be. Then you'll be able to put it into your P2, your P3 and cut it right out. I believe it's going to work with the P2 as well. I'm not 100%. They're not really saying much, but I believe I heard something about that. But it should be doing deposits soon because it's almost the beginning of Q2. I got the S1 with the 1060 IR laser and the 40 watt, and I'm still learning, but I'm hoping to love it once I figure out settings better. I mean, it comes down to doing a bunch of different test cards. I have them all over the place, really, but the ones I use the most, I keep close to me. So, I mean, I test hundreds and hundreds of things. I don't have an S1, so I don't have any of that stuff to test, so I don't have any settings for that. But your test grids are going to be your best friend. Like this is a score test grid, an engrave, acrylic cut. I mean, I have it for all kinds of things that I do. A bunch of different woods. This is all the same stuff. I have leather from different places. Down there, it's not on a ring like this, though, unfortunately. But test grids are going to be your best friend. And you can make them right in xTool Studio. It's easy. I will actually show you how to do that real quick. So you would just take a basic shape or letter or whatever it is that you're going to be doing. You're going to set it. So if you're doing engrave, you're going to set it to engrave ahead of time. You're going to make it a little smaller. You're going to go here. You're going to go to material test array. And then you'll put in what you want. So if you wanted it to only be 50% of the power starting at 10, if you want it to go as fast as the machine can to say 500. So it's really all up to you on how you want your parameters to go. And let me get my phone and show you guys that QR code for people that just came on. So there's a QR code if you guys want to try to win the gift card. You just scan it and enter in your information. Do you guys want to see anything with the F2? Or any other machine, really? It doesn't necessarily have to be the F2, but I know initially I had people from my F2 group here. All right, Darren, what do you want to see? I can find a quick picture of something. Let me see. Okay, so I found a picture. I'm just going to remove the background and stuff real quick, which you guys can't see me doing because that side of my screen isn't being shared. And where's my eraser tool? All right, that didn't work out good, so I will go back to, where are we? Adobe actually did not erase my background good for what I wanted to do. So I am going to go to import. I'm going to go to edit, and we will see if we can cut it out good here. So doing that did cost 6 credits. I'm fine with that. I mean, it really isn't that much money. I know a lot of people complain about it, but it's really not that much money. So I am going to go into focus. I do just have to get my settings because this is just all on the fly stuff. No. Okay, so for this, I'm going to do, I forgot what it was. It's going to be 82. So for dot duration, it's going to be 95. No, I lied. It's going to be 82. I'm going to do, we have to put this in Javis. Power is going to be 95. My DPI is going to be 495. And then you're going to click this. You're going to hit edit. Actually, you're going to go into this and click Illumina business card. This is going to make your life easier. I typically will edit my stuff in Adobe anyways, but this is just great for people who don't have that. You go to adjustments and you go to auto adjust, and xTool kind of does all the work for you. I'm just going to sharpen it a bit more. Now I'm going to focus. I think I already did it, but we'll do it again. I'm just going to read some of these comments. I have some stuff on the P3. I know Michael has some stuff on the P3. I do have a laundry list of stuff that I have to get out. I just don't have enough time in the day. But I do plan on doing a couple more videos for the P3. Scott, on my F2, my coins are 10 hours, but look amazing. So curious how fast with the Ultra. I can do a coin on the F2 Ultra in about an hour. And it's very deep too. I actually have a whole thing that I did. If I can find them all. I tried doing a coin on my F2 Ultra UV and it did not work as great as I wanted. I also have the P2 and F1 and M1 Ultra. I would have to know what you tried on your F2 Ultra. My coins come out amazing on there. I was doing the P3. You can. I will switch over now to here. So I did some coins on I did a whole thing on each of them, and I did the same image, and I'm just trying to see if I can find my other one. It's probably on the back of something. So this was done on the F2. This the 5 watt. As you can see, you do get some depth on there, but it doesn't remove a lot of material. And this took, I did 2 different versions. I did one where I did the full 256 layers. That took, I think it was like 36 hours or something really ridiculous. I don't remember. I'd have to actually go back and watch my video. And then I did half the amount of layers, and I sped it up a little bit more, and it was like 8 hours. This I did on the UV. So it is doable, but again, it takes a long time. This is the F2 Ultra. So as you can see, you get a lot of depth in there. And I know I have that same coin for the F1. I just have to find it somewhere. This is it right here. Yep, this is it right here. And then this is the F1 Ultra. You can do coins on the F2. That's what I was just showing. This was the F2 right here. Yes, I did one on the F2 Ultra UV as well, which was this one right here. It took the same amount of time. It was like 8 hours. On the F1, I think it was 2 hours. That's the F1 Ultra, not the F1 IR. All right, so we're going to switch back over here. So I have that all set up. I am going to frame this so I know what I'm doing. For whatever reason, my settings didn't save. This was 82, 95. Oh, I guess I have to hit start. No, I lied. So something, it didn't focus, even though I know I focused it. It didn't focus. I just noticed it because I saw the lines. And I know a lot of people have been having this issue with the focusing. So I'm manually doing it. And let me show you how I manually did it, because I have mine set up at one of these controllers. So I just use this. If you don't have this, you can use this knob on the side over here and turn it either way to bring it into focus. Okay, that is in focus now. So we are going to run that again. Now, I know this isn't like the best picture quality, but it was just something to run and show you guys. So, and this is just a metal business card. Does XES run on an iPad? XES does, Studio does not. I know they are coming or trying to come out with the app for it. I heard that might be coming out with the a couple of new machines coming out, but that's just a rumor I heard. Yes, this is live. Stan gets it higher on the desk. Oh, you must have been answering about what my stand is. Oh yeah, it's just so I can have it higher, or if I need to put something under it and do it. So yeah, it does amazing with photos. I mean, really any photos. I have stuff I've done, slate coasters. I've done different kinds of variations of slate coasters as well. But this is just like a ceramic tile I've done on it. And then this is just a slate coaster. So it does amazing with photos. Of course, the UV gets even more detail, and I don't know if I have those down here for an example. I do not have them down here as an example. I would go with the P3 just because you're going to get them done in half the time. You can't cut vinyl though, unless I know they do have special laser vinyl, so you would have to get special laser vinyl. but I don't know where to get that. I heard a couple of, I think Smoky Hills maybe, but I'm not sure. I don't really do it. So you guys have any other questions here with any of the machines? F1 Ultra, F2 Ultra, F2, F2 UV. I have the P2, the P3. Oh, Sister has it. I know there's a couple of like laser suppliers that sell it as well too. I just don't remember who they are. That's good to know that they have it in case I ever need it again. I got rid of so much vinyl last summer. I used to make epoxy tumblers, so I had the whole setup. So if you guys don't have any more questions about any of the machine, I'm gonna jump off because I'm sure you can hear my voice. Thinking custom electronic binders. That's interesting. I would love to see that. I'll get you that QR code again if I can find my phone. It was supposed to be set up in here as they call it scenes, but it's not in here. So that's the QR code right there to enter to win. They're giving away 3 of them this live. Thank you, Michael. When doing inner engraving, is there a one size fits all, and am I supposed to calibrate? You don't have to calibrate each time. No, the machine. Oh, sorry, I didn't mean to slip it down. The machine. You don't even focus it because the machine knows. But there is no one size fits all for every single picture. You have to edit the picture into a black and white. You can do it in Studio. Studio is pretty good at it. There's some software out there, other softwares like Cockpit 3D, stuff like that. They all will convert them over for you as well. The Apparel printer is on my radar. I just don't have the funds right now. And I know it's a machine I won't constantly use all the time. I did t-shirts for a very long time and I got burnt out with them. You're very welcome. You guys got any other questions for me? Yes, they have the UV printer coming out soon. It's supposed to be coming out in Q2, which Q2 starts the end of this month. So hopefully within the next month or two. Does stir create the point cloud? I don't know what you mean by that. Like Studio will create one, yes. You're very welcome for the QR code. Yes, in Studio, you can create one. Let me turn it on. Oh, you're very welcome, Scott. Thank you, Simply Divine. So I have to let the UV turn on and then I can show you. So that's finished. I have to switch out. All right, so, oh, come on. Edit. So you'd want this black and white, which it already is, because you want a black and white photo for it. And you would go to, oh, it's going to be way down here, isn't it? You could probably do it from home. I had it on here the other day. I promise you that. I have to go into AI Makes is where you get that all different stuff. But it's not there either. I haven't used it for a couple of weeks and they added all this new stuff in, so. Maps. Why can I not find it? It's not coming up for anything. As soon as I get off, I'll find it, no problem. I know that's going to happen. So a point cloud is going to look like this. And I did use this xTool Studio to make this. So this was my husband and his parents, like I told you. I did use it in here, but I can't for the life of me find it right now, and I can't remember exactly where it is. So that's how it was. I think I have settings that I use too. The settings that I actually use for this, by the way, was the best settings that we have found so far have been the xTool settings with using their own software. But for some reason, I just can't find it right now, probably because I just don't feel good, and it's probably right in front of me. Oh, right here, 3D AI Make right here. So you have to be in the AI mode, the inner engraving mode for it to pop up. So you would upload your image. Let's say we would do Michael Jackson. You're going to want to put the size of your crystal here. So whatever that may be, say it's 50, or your processing size, say you want to do 50 by 50. No, I don't want to upgrade right now. And then it'll generate it, and it's going to cost you 6 credits. I'm obviously not going to do it in engraving of Michael Jackson, but that's where it is. And you have to be in the 3D mode in order for it to come up. Apparently, we just learned something together. At least I'm not the only one with a 3D printer by my I have 2 of them behind me right here. There's a small one, and then I have one on my storage rack that I have over there. I have the P2S, the A1, and the H2S. Was I on the F1? No, I was on the F1. That's why I couldn't find it. But when I opened up my point cloud, I thought I was switched over to the F2 UV. The part of the size with what, the point cloud that I was making on there? Well, I didn't make it. I was just pretending to make it. So you would go to AI3DR. It would be right here. So it would be your processing size, whatever you wanted him to be. So if you wanted Michael Jackson to be, 50 millimeters by 50 millimeters, then you would hit generate, and it's going to bring up more settings as well too. I'm really not going to waste 6 credits on something I'm not going to make though. But you can, if you didn't remove the background, you can do that. You put in this. Basically, you would take your tape measure and you would measure the height of the crystal, and then go from there on how much you want it to fill inside of your crystal. I need help with engraving Yeti cups. What are you engraving with? The P2, the P3. I was wondering why they come small at first. It's because what you're setting it in on that initial screen right there. You want to set how I do it is, so I went into Photoshop when I did this one right here. Oh, I have to share the screen. So when I made this right here, I went into Photoshop first, and I believe I removed the background in there if I remember right, and I set this picture up to the size I wanted it to be, because pictures are made up of dots. So when you go into a software and you go to stretch that picture out or even make it smaller, so if you're stretching that picture out, you're expanding those dots, which you're going to get a bad result. And if you're shrinking it down, then you're compressing all those dots together, so it's not going to come out right. So you want your picture to be the exact size that you want it to be. Yeah, you don't want to resize it after you import it in, because you're going to stretch or shrink those dots down. The P2 Ultra UV? You mean the F2? I honestly, I haven't done a tumbler on it yet, so I would have to, and I wouldn't do a Yeti. I don't work with Yetis. I just do the dupes for the most part, unless somebody gives me one. But I haven't done one yet, but I would do a test grid on one. You're going to have to sacrifice one and do a test grid. And just know darker colors, you're going to use a little bit less power, and you can go faster. With lighter colors, you're probably going to have to use more power and go slower. Yes, a lot of people, Tom says he does cups on his F1 with the blue light and then a cleanup pass with the IR. That's usually the way to go with them. Yeah, you're gonna have to do a test grid with it. I haven't done a tumbler on it yet. Mainly because I don't have to. I haven't even done a tumbler for myself, and I want a new one. I've been trying to get away from doing tumblers. Just kind of worn out with them, but I haven't used it yet. I believe a couple people in one of my groups have done it. And they actually did a test grid, and they showed the test grid on it. I don't remember what it was. It was yesterday though. You're very welcome. Did everybody get that QR code? If not, I can show it again. So there's the QR code. I was just going to ask you what your settings were. That's why I write everything down. I have like notebooks upon notebooks upon notebooks and everything. So like, and I'm not even kidding. This is only just 2 notebooks that I have right here. And I mean, they're like everything that I've tried or what worked, what didn't work. This is just 2 of them. I have them all over the place. And these are the newer ones. I have like stacks of them. Where can I get a classes or help with engraving business like a coach? We do it in the demo rooms. If you send me a message rather on my YouTube or whatnot, it's Abby's Addicts Creation. I can give you my link for a demo when we do one-on-ones. I don't know what you did, Tom. I missed something. All right, if you guys don't have any more questions, you can always find me on, YouTube, Abby's Addicts Creation. All my socials are the same, Abby's Addicts Creation. You can find all of my groups in any of my videos from Abby's Addicts Creation. I have a few of them for each of the machines pretty much. And you can get a hold in there. My group, everybody in my groups, they all help each other. They're really wonderful. So you just find me over there, and then you can find the groups. Most of them are all in my videos, and I hope to see you in my groups. And you can contact me through any of my socials or Facebook or whatever is easiest for you guys if you guys need any help. So I am going to sign off. I hope you guys have a lovely night. This was probably one of the longest lives that I've done, and you can tell. So I'm sorry about my voice. Like I said, I'm not feeling good. Yes, you could do pocket watches on any of the F-Series machines. Awesome, Tom. I hope you win. All right, I will see you guys online.